The last step to complete the application is to be able to change the quote every time we press the button. To achieve it, we will proceed to import in first place a file that contains the set of quotes that are going to be part of the application. I'm going to place in the raw folder a text file. It is this file that I have imported. If we open it, we can see that we have each of the quotes on a different line. I'm going to close the file, and to read the file, I'm going to create a list of strings where we're going to put the quotes that we get from the file. I'm going to indicate that the name of the list is going to be equal to quotes, which is equal to a new generic list of strings. To carry out the reading of the file, we can go to the file about assets, copy the method that we have already seen previously, and we're going to paste it in the code behind to be able to read the file. Let's change the file name we want to read, which is this file called quotes.txt. Let's read the file, but instead of storing the content in a variable called content and read to the end the content, we will indicate that while we can read lines in the file, true reader.pick is not equal to -1, which is the code that will allow us to read the next line and see if there is content or not, we will add to the list of strings the quote that is read from the file. Later, we must invoke the load Maui asset method, so we will override the appearing method to carry out the invocation through await load Maui asset. With this, we would be reading the different quotes that are part of the file that we have imported. Once we have the list of quotes, we're going to return to the event handler, go to the end, and the next step is to obtain a random sentence. For this, we're going to indicate that we want to create a variable called index, which is equal to random, which is the variable that helps us to generate random values, and we indicate that we want to obtain a random value, taking as maximum value the count of the number of quotes. To carry out the assignment of the selected quote, we must return to the main page.xaml file, and we're going to look for the label where the label control is located to assign a name to it. Let's call it quote. Let's return to the main page.xaml.cs file, and we're going to indicate that we want to assign to the text property of this control the random selection of the quote through quotes, we access to the index that we obtained previously, and this way we could already obtain a quote in a totally random way. Let's test the application. Let's click on the button, and we can see how we are randomly generating different quotes, and the application looks pretty good.